So just to obviously welcome you all, and then to just say I've got a few things to update on, if that's all right. So and then we're going to invite some of our actual marine champions to give, I think it's about 10 to 15 minutes, just a bit of an update on what they're doing in their area, to share ideas and for people to yes, to ask questions of some of the marine champions and to share any ideas, which I think is great. So just to hear what people are doing in their regions now. But what I wanted to just update you on was a few things. First of all, we've got the dive show coming up. And at the dive show, we will be giving, I think it's going to be a couple of hours. I think it starts at 1:15 on the Saturday, the 28th of February. And so you would meet face to face with Catherine, our chair. Then there'll be a welcome from our chair, BSAC's chair, Andy Shenstone. And then Emily Cunningham, who is working in for the Marine Motion for the Ocean, will be presenting. So you could all kind of have a chat to her. I know a lot of you have been doing lots of work in your local councils, so you could speak to Emily about that. So she'll be there. We're also going to just do a talk on how to run a great a seagrass event and log it into the Great Seagrass Survey. So that's Eric Holden that's coming along to talk to you all about that. And then a bit on Operation Oyster, and then some Marine Champions presentations. I know that Alison Mayer is going to be doing something, and Luke as well. So actually, and then there's a prize draw. So I think we're going to be on for a couple of in there for a couple of hours, but you can come for as long as you can come, and then you can go off around the dive show. So absolutely would love to see you. And as I say, it's on the Saturday at 1:15 to 3:15. And if you're interested, what we were going to try and do is just to find out how many people were thinking they might be able to come. So if you are able to just put a thumbs up in the chat, that would be amazing, and your name, just so we can work out how many of you are going to be able to make it. And we would really love to see you and meet you face to face. So thank you if you can make it. It would be much appreciated. And we can also send you a link for the tickets, because we can get, I think we're getting, well, I think everyone is, but I think it's about 30% off the tickets. So I think I've got a question from Karen. No, it's your hand up to say you're coming to the dive show. Perfect, thank you. Lovely. Okay, yeah, any others, just put, if you can put your name in chat or a thumbs up, that'd be great. Karen, I'll put you down, thank you, no problem. That's great. So thanks for that, and then we'll send out a reminder about the dive show, where it is, the address and everything, and really look forward to seeing you there. I did try to see if I could get tickets, but unfortunately I think we've only been given 5 tickets actually for people working on our stand, so sorry about that, but there is a link that you can go to, and I will send that out. WhatsApp groups. So we've had a couple of questions about setting up WhatsApp groups, and what we would like, we think, is that in your areas it would be great to set up a WhatsApp group. Now Mel has, I think Mel and a couple of people in North Wales have set up a WhatsApp group for the North Wales region, and Mel could just touch on that, on as to how they did it. If you want to put in chat that you're interested in being a WhatsApp group in your region, then what we can do is then take your name and link you in with other people in your area. And so that's what we think we're going to do first, is actually just do areas of WhatsApp groups, and you run them yourselves to start off with. And then I think we were hoping that possibly at the dive show, when we've got more of you there, we can actually discuss it face to face and have a bit more of a conversation about the about WhatsApp and setting it up. So even more reason for you to be coming to the show if you possibly can. So thank you for that. And then just a reminder about the Marine Champion Photo Comp. I think the deadline is the 27th of February, and then Andy Talbot is going to present the prize at the dive show in your workshop. So the competition is to just send in photos and pictures of what you're doing in your area. So the more we get in, the better. And then I think your name will then get put into a prize draw, and that's how you're and then whoever Andy pulls out of the hat will win. And I think the prize is the very trendy BSAC leisure wear, a gilet and a beanie for you to wear when you're doing your Marine Champion work. So you know, so I think don't delay and get your photos in of what you're all doing at the weekends. You've still got time, or in the evenings, or in lectures, or whatever, because we as long as you'd also be happy with them to be used on social media. So send them across to me, because you've all got my email address. I think I will put it back into chat in a bit for you, but that would be perfect. So do have a go at that. We've had quite a few entries, but we need a few more. So have a go at that if you don't mind. And then I've got some dates for your diary that have come in from Catherine. So we are looking at doing some Marine Champion action days, and we will discuss those at the dive show with you. Catherine will be talking about them, but what I wanted to do, and Catherine was keen for us to do, was to get the date into your diaries, if you didn't mind. So the dates that we're looking at, and then, as I say, we can talk about them more at the dive show, is the 16th and 17th of May. These are all weekends, you'll be pleased to know. And I will send them out to you afterwards. The 11th and 12th of July, the 1st and 2nd of August, and the 5th and 6th of September. So those are the weekends that we want to engage, have Marine Champions engaging, and talk about what we'd like to do. So those will be weekends when we absolutely focus with our Marine Champs across the country. And Catherine will talk about what we'd like to look at doing at the dive show. Don't worry if you can't make the dive show. We'll be communicating after the dive show, so you all know. So those are the dates. I'll put them in chat once we move across to our speakers for the evening. So I think that was what was on the list from Catherine. Just a bit of an update on Marine Champs. We're up to 67. So our target is 100 for the end of the year. So we're doing really well. And obviously, if we can get more Marine Champions, you know, we will do that. If we can look at grants, we will do that. Alison Mayers sent in a grant. Thanks, Alison, for us to circulate. And that's a sea changes one with, I think, a deadline coming up. So we're going to send that out. But Alison, I don't know, you might be able to put a link to it in chat as well if you want, but I will make sure it gets sent out. I didn't want to do it before the call. I thought, well, I'll do it afterwards with other things. But if you can, Ali, feel fine to put it into chat as well. But it is a sea changes grant that you know, some of our clubs have been very successful with. I know some of our uni clubs have been successful. So it's a great charity that does offer grants for conservation work. So you could have a bit of a look at that when Ali puts it in. So if not, I'll circulate it later. So I think that's it. Now, what Catherine wanted to do tonight was focus a little bit on why inland action matters, and actually talk about what some of our inland clubs are doing and how innovative our Marine Champs and members are inland. And I think the biggest thing for that Catherine sort of said about inland is that so much of pollution comes from inland, then goes into the rivers and then goes out to the sea. And I think it's some sort of really high percentage that would be, you know, we would be surprised at, that comes from pollution from fertilizers, you know, different things, farming, litter. And so this is about how we could possibly try and help inland and then sort of going out into the sea, etc. So we wanted to ask some of our marine champs from inland clubs as to what they're doing and how they're engaging, and some ideas, because you don't have to be near the coast to make a difference. You know, we can all make a difference. So if I'd like to invite Mel. So we've got basically Mel, Paul and Rob that are talking tonight for about 10 to 15 minutes on just sharing some ideas. So I think if people want to ask any questions, you're welcome to put it in the chat and then I can help chair, or we can ask the questions at the end. And let the marine champs just do their sharing. So if that's okay, I'm sorry, I've just got Paul asking a question. You're right, Paul, nice to see you.
Hi Mary, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. You okay?
Good, yeah, thank you.
Good.
It's actually Christopher that's our marine champion. I'm just on observing.
Sorry. So have we got Chris with us?
Yeah, Christopher Dring's on here.
Chris, hi. Sorry, Chris. I think we've got just a bit of communication between myself and Catherine, because Catherine's not here tonight. So nice to see you, Chris. So I think if everyone's okay, then we'll go with Mel first, if that's all right. And then so Mel's had a go at sharing, so we should be fine with sharing. And Mel's just going to share some of what she's been doing and up to, which is great. So you're just going to share, Mel, again. And then it should, there we go. Perfect. Good. It's come on, Mel. It's on the screen. Lovely. Thank you. Right, I'll hand over to Mel. Thank you, Mel. You might be, you're, just take your microphone off, Mel. Oh, don't worry. See, you've come out.
Oh, that's a good start.
Don't worry. Try again. Just go to share. Keep your microphone off, and then okay. Just go into share again.
Okay, microphone on and sharing.
Yeah. Well
I can't see you guys. So
don't worry.
There's an opportunity to ask questions at the end.
No problem. So you're still not sharing. There we go. You're back on share. Perfect.
Okay.
There we go.
So thank you, Mary. Thanks for your patience. So I'm Melanie Huff. I am the marine champion at Flintshire Sub-Aqua Club, which is on the banks of the River Dee, and includes some of the estuary as well, which goes out to the Irish Sea. So just to put our location into context, the River Dee is 70 miles long. It originates from Snowdonia, and it goes via Bala and Chester, and then past us into the estuary. So as Mary mentioned earlier, a lot of the pollution can be, come from the water sources that lead into the river and the estuary, which is something that I've been looking at as a marine champion. So that's about Flintshire. In the club, we've got roughly say 60 members of all ages, so there's plenty of opportunity to include people in the Marine Champion initiative. So tonight in my presentation I'll mention about the BSAC Marine Champion role and what it means to me, the introducing the Marine Champion to the club, which has pros and cons, agencies and networks that I've developed as a Marine Champion, which can go some way to supporting me in the Marine Champion role in the club, as well as the BSAC strategy and the other agencies' strategies, how I'd look at developing the Marine Champion role in my club and area, and then future plans. Okay, so as Mary said, I won't read everything out, but as Mary said, the BSAC strategy plan for 25 and to 29, it was includes the recruitment of marine champions, and it's fantastic to hear that even from the last month there was 63 to now being 67, and I'm sure we're going to hit that 100 target before the end of the year. The Marine Champion volunteers is used as a point of contact for the club members, but also I've used the role to make contact with a number of agencies that have very similar opportunities for volunteering and looking at conservation, in which case I can incorporate the Marine Champion initiative, as well as gain some experience and learning from the different agencies. And I've put some of the agencies' logos that I've contacted on this presentation, just to give you an idea. So again, and this is about also making those links with the agencies, again, potential funding, but also members' experience as well. So we can work in collaboration with the agencies. So how I've introduced the Marine Champion role, I'm very new at this. So I've only been diving for 12 months, just over 12 months. I'm just one exercise off gaining my sports diver. I love diving, it's the best thing ever. And I've joined the club with a lot of enthusiasm. There's a lot of people who enjoy diving for different reasons, and when this role came up, it was, to me, it was the best thing ever. Because when I was a child, when people had pop star posters on their walls, my walls were full of nature and marine life, and also I read encyclopedias. So this is a great opportunity for me, and it's something that I have to consider when I'm working with members of the club. That they are very experienced, they've got a lot of knowledge, and how we can bring them in and engage with the initiative. So I started out by introducing the Marine Champion role at the AGM, which is where most of the members would be attending, and get them to sort of revisit the BSAC divers codes. I got them printed out onto A3 paper and had them all sign it to be part of it. And also I introduced the motion for the ocean at the same time, and also got all the members who are present at the AGM to sign that letter to go to the local authority, and just making sure it was a collaborative opportunity where people understood that there was going to be a difference to diving, or you can introduce a difference to diving, and also for people who want to get more out of their dive when they go, and also the opportunities that BSAC have presented with the inland initiative of the invasive species, which is fantastic. So what I had done is introduce the Marine Champion role to look at conservation, linking with clubs that may be more isolated from the coast. So I've used things like the WhatsApp communication and creating, anybody who wants to contact me, I generally find something that might be of interest that will fit with the Marine Champion initiative and the BSAC strategy, and share it. And a lot of the learning is available online, so it's great just to have access to a team's training event that's convenient, or as Mary mentioned earlier, moving the invasive species around the country so that we can see different places and experience different events and go to different areas, and it makes it as well more inclusive. So I usually use my WhatsApp just to give the heads up of anything that's happening, but other people to share information as well. I set one up for Wales because there's a lot of isolated areas in Wales with the hills and the large boundary, but also central England as well. There's some clubs that have contacted me. So also I attended the invasive species event, which was absolutely fantastic, a great learning experience. It's something that I've not done before, and like I say, I'm a very new diver, so I love challenging. I love those experiences of being challenged and having new experiences. And then with the learning that we get from BSAC, the training that's available, like the shore surveying, the ocean surveying, just spending time with other people. Wigan Club were mentioned to come over and do some shore dives with us, but at the same time we can include family members to do shore surveying as well. So it's how we learn to set up and be including as much as we possibly can for the conservation aspects of Marine Champion when we're out and about, taking the opportunities that arise. So these are some of the photographs that were taken from some of the work that I've been doing as Marine Champion. We've got the invasive species, which you may have seen in the Scuba magazine. A fantastic day. It was really successful. There was an awful lot of weed taken out, but there was so much more. Really, really good experience. And also from the Wild Oyster project, absolutely fascinating to learn about the wild oysters. They're very useful in cleaning our oceans, keeping our oceans clean, and they not only check on the oysters that they've created hotels for, which breed into the estuary, but also they do the environmental and bio surveying as well. So we came across the fish, the starfish and different sorts of crabs and shrimps, and you can see where people in the white trays are making records of what other marine life they're coming across, and not just checking on the health of the oysters. So that they're very successful, and I look forward to doing more of those. So when I'm out, I am living my best life. This is something that I've waited for and waited to do for a long time, and I just think it's fantastic. But what I like to do as well is when I'm out doing these voluntary, taking these voluntary opportunities, is also promote the BSAC Marine Champion. So I've made myself a laminated Marine Champion little poster that I hold up in photographs, and share it, and share more about BSAC and the Marine Champion initiative when I'm with those groups. And we've just created bigger networks, another WhatsApp group to keep in North Wales of marine agencies, so that they can keep me up to date and I can keep them up to date, and then keep you guys up to date. So that's a really good thing, especially when we've got 250 miles of North Wales coastline. So what do we do with that? So the Marine Champion role, I think it's a really key role in the any club, because again, you're a new role and you're taking that initiative to enhance people's dive experience and educate and offer opportunities into citizen science projects. So we include everybody. We make sure that not just the divers are included, but the families that give up the time of their divers so that they can spend with us. And what my plan is for the future is that we include those families in taking part of all ages. They can come and do shore surveys, they can come snorkeling. I'd like to do my snorkel instructor so that I can be there on the shore with people who are interested, and get more people involved if I possibly can. I've been in contact with Keep Britain Tidy, and we've got some freebies off those. We're going to do a presentation night where Sea Search and Keep Britain Tidy will come and talk to the members, so that again, it's just another avenue added to the Marine Champion role. Some of the challenges that I found is things like the social media. Some people like it and some people don't, so it's having a balance of the communication. There's high interest in a lot of events and people will jump at the opportunity to volunteer, but in things like the Oyster project, because they work in a marina, they're very limited of space, so they can only have small numbers. So I'd highly recommend registering with any conservation agency that you're looking at helping out with early as possible, so that you get all the information first and you can respond to it quickly. The risk assessments, they're going to be different in every location in every day, depending on the weather and the people that are out in the group. Personal cost to the Marine Champions, well, we do travel around a bit. We spend a lot of time doing the promotion and things like that. If I enjoy it, so it's no problem, but that's something to consider as well. The BSAC initiative, recognition, working with other agencies. So like I said, one of the first thing I did was go out and introduce myself to agencies. When I say go out, I literally contacted them and sent a picture. This is me, I'm a Marine Champion. These are the initiatives. This is what I'm interested in helping with. We've got a group of 60 members. If you need any volunteers, let us know. So just making that contact is helpful. And also trying to get the committees on board is really important, the club committee, because if you've got a social media officer and if you've got an expedition officer, it would be great if they're part of the Marine Champion discussions, because they can help you promote events, publicise events, arrange events for the expedition. But the opportunities are fantastic. So with the inland stuff, if we think about the River Dee, which is on our doorstep, and how far it goes back across North Wales, we've got to be responsible for all that area. So learning, for me, is learning about the surveying and training and keeping people safe while we're doing it. So I'm signing up to like first aid courses and the beach surveillance course and a snorkeling instructor course. So I've got a lot lined up in my future this year of what I want to train in. The collaboration and the conservation and science agencies, your data that you collect from wherever you're working is going to be key to those agencies. That makes the change for the environment. It literally does what we feed back, they take to the they take to the government. With Keep Britain Tidy, for example, if we've got their equipment, they want information of is there a particular number of things that we're picking up along the riverside, and if so, that goes back to the Welsh Government, and they challenge the manufacturers and start making items that are more environmentally friendly. They're very quick to pick up on it. So again, influencing the learners that come to the club. We've got a number of people who want to make a career out of marine science, so that's fantastic. And all the relevant documents, I believe, like I've got the risk assessments of BSAC that I can use when I go out and do work with the club or other volunteers. So that's my presentation on Marine Champion. It is a lot, I appreciate that. But if you've got any questions or suggestions, that'd be great. Thank you.
Mel, thank you. Thank you very much. That was really good. Thank you. And I think it's just so lovely to hear your passion. You know, and you're so new to diving as well, so I always love it when people start talking about their, you know, how their lives have changed and everything, and it's a really great kind of authentic presentation just about, you know, how you've grasped the role, and you've done brilliantly, so thank you so much. And you know, you're so early in your diving career, it's great. So
I did warn you, didn't I,
yeah,
that I'm very
I can see, yeah, you're loving it, aren't you? So, and you've absolutely embraced it, so it's brilliant. So any questions from anybody? You got some lovely comments, Mel, in the chat as well, so that you've done really well, and you know, you're very inspirational, so thank you.
Guys. Thanks, very kind.
So I think we've got a question from Caroline, I think.
Hi, Mel. Great presentation, thank you. Just a quick question on the invasive species. We saw that myself and some of the members saw it in the recent newsletter. How did you, well, if you do that again, how will you advertise that? I mean, I know we're waiting on the Marine Champion website for activities, but is there another way that you would advertise that so people could maybe get involved?
Well, that is arranged with Mary and Sophie, and it was something that came via another club member actually, and then we just promoted it within the club, anybody that was interested. But Mary does have the details, and they do come out on a monthly basis. Is it monthly? Yes, Mary. Bi-monthly.
Yeah. So Caroline, there's another one on the 19th of February at Climperdon, and you can go online. I'll dig out the link. You can go online and book that with us. So we organise them. Okay. at the moment, and then you can promote it in your club, so you can sort of let your club know and ask if any of them want to book on it, and then you can book people on it. And then there's another one, I think, on the 21st of March, and then I think we've gone for some more dates in May and June for the Climperdon one. And then I think in the summer we might not be able to do it because it gets so busy there. But they are on our website, our current website at the moment.
Okay. I don't suppose you have the link for that, do you, please?
Yeah. I'll dig that out for you.
And just one other question for Mel. Do you have a full-time job doing all as well as this?
Well, I'm actually a social work manager. So yeah, I have a very, very busy job, but I think the fact that I am so busy in my job, it's like I can't sit still. So I end up doing bits of extra and keeping my mind active, and yeah, so but again, you know, it's a passion. It's something that I've waited to do. If I'd have known there'd been these sort of jobs when I was at school, that's the avenue I would have taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to leave. What I'm going to do is, anybody who wants to be in the WhatsApp group that I manage over here in North from Flintshire. I call it the North Wales and Inland group. So if any, I'll put my number in the chat, and if you want to message me with your name and club, I'll add you to the chat. So if anything that I get, I'm happy, you know, to share. But be very quick. Early bird catches the worm.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. That's excellent. Thank you so much. Thanks, Mel, for sharing that. Much appreciated. And we'll share more links, etc. Later on. And Caroline, I can email you directly as well on things. So on other dates as they come up. So next on the list, if that's all right for speaking, is I think it is actually Chris. I think if you're all right with that, Rob, if you can cope with waiting.
Yeah,
yeah, cool. So yes, so we've got Chris next. If that's all right, Chris, and you're okay to share some of your something that you're actually organising as a Marine Champ in your area. So if you're okay to come up and share your presentation, that'd be great. Just are you all right, Chris, or have you gone? Just checking. I think Chris is there, but he's gone. Not to worry. Does look like he might have dropped off. So so what I'll do, Rob, is if you're happy, Rob, would you be happy to go, and then
yeah, if it's my time to shine,
yeah. Thank you. Chris can
Hopefully.
come back. Brilliant. Okay. So yes, so again, just if you're all right to share.
Yep.
Rob, perfect. Thank you. And thanks again, Mel.
Should be doing the thing. Okay.
Yes, it's about to.
Good. Right. Hopefully it's going to behave for me.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Super. So I'll just introduce myself. I'm Rob Corby. So I'm the Marine Champion, also the chairman for Midlands-Sub-Aqua Club, which is located in the centre of England in Nuneaton. We'll go over that a little bit more later. So the question I was asked was what information I could give to similar clubs with activities they can be involved with for marine conservation and activities. So hopefully should start clicking through. Hey, there we go. We should do. So looking at what we're going to cover, I'll talk about what drew me into project diving, and the pros and cons of being a landlocked club. There are both. It doesn't all suck that you're in the middle of the country. What projects the club members are involved with, an overview of Project Baseline Midlands Pool, which is a conservation project we run out of Midlands-Sub-Aqua Club, and the collaborations that we've formed along the way. And also a bit of help if people are thinking of starting a similar project. Okay, so let's just see. I'll go back to. Can I go back?
Yeah, you should be able to just.
Yeah.
There you go. Well done. Yeah, you're back. Yeah.
Yep. So, just to go over quick first, what got me into project diving. I never came bored of diving. I've been diving, what I say, full time now for 10 years. Before that, I was just doing a bit of holiday diving. So full on through the winter in the UK for 10 years now. Still not bored. I can go and shore dive happily any time of the year. What prompted me to project dive was that as divers, we're in a very unique position. We see parts of the world that no one else ever sees, the underwater environment. It's only a very small percentage. Even smaller is that as the people having the skills and ability to do anything with that. So you're people that can do a sea search course. I'm not particularly good at looking at squidgy things and telling you what there are. I'm better at running the line and getting GPS positions, but that's why we have these teams involved in projects. Let's just go on this. So looking at where we are on the map, as you can see to the left, that's us, that's Midlands-Sub-Aqua Club, right in the centre of England. I think we're about 3 miles from the actual geographic centre, so we don't get much further away from the sea. Flip that on the other side, although everywhere's a little bit of a drive, I've put a little chart up there where we are. Portland's 4 hours, Plymouth's 4 hours, and Pembroke's about 4 hours away. I've put Dunoon in because that's the next interesting place I'm going diving. So everywhere's a bit of a drive, but it's not like a 12-hour. We've got this good central location to get around. Particularly if we're looking at a southern basis as well to go out of. And I'll explain a little bit why I'm still mentioning the coast while we're talking about inland projects. So leading on from what I did, where my journey of project diving went on, I first became involved project diving was probably Ghost Fishing UK. I'm sure everyone's heard of that. They recover lost fishing gear in the sea and recycle it appropriately, and any any wildlife caught in that they're released back into the sea. I've also participated in several project baseline movements that included wildlife surveys, data collection, and I think Mel touched on this as well about what we do, how it gets fed back to the appropriate channels. Part of the stuff we're doing up in Eyemouth, there's a marine reserve there which we wanted to make bigger. We all know that wrecks are heavily colonised, but without actual evidence and fact of that, it means nothing to Parliament for making these changes. So this is this level of work that as divers we can do. We can shape Parliament decisions. We've also had members participate in National Archaeological Society group and people going off to do wreck identification and surveying. So my point about the seaside bits is driving all these way, we've got quite a few members that have picked up a lot of skills along the way from their project diving and brought them back to our local community. So transferring these back to the local community club and population, where we are, we're surrounded by flooded quarries, whether they be granite, slate or clay. It's quite a diverse geological area in the Midlands. Most of these quarries that have flooded have now become nature reserves or wildlife parks. A lot of these fall onto council land due to the council cuts over the last seems increasing years. These parks are just being left to ruin, or if we're lucky enough, a local volunteer group to look after the surface area by cutting back bushes and picking up litter. But any other works than that, they're just not happening. So the way we managed to start a project and start some conservation within these areas was to sort of take advantage of this situation of the council not looking after the areas. So we conducted litter removal from surface water and underwater, and as well as removing ghost fishing gear that had been responsible for killing wildfowl and fish. So that's one of the collaborations we could form with local groups as well, that were a bit frustrated that they could get all this litter from the outside, but not in the water. Just an example, some of these areas when we first went to these pools, we were probably removing like 3 or 4 pickup trucks full of rubbish a day. And now after 5 years, when we go and visit each pool probably once a year, we're taking probably 5 black bags away, which is like a real bonus, and it looks so much better as well. So moving on from just the litter picks, I think Mel said as well about getting a BSAC Jubilee Trust grant, which we did. We managed to get some money from them to really up the game in our projects. So we managed to take some water samples, looking at the basic chemistry, and pay for some monitoring gear, which monitored the site's water temperature throughout the year. And we also tested the visibility and water clarity as well throughout the year, just by visual dives. And for that, we actually won the Jubilee Trust Award a few years ago. But unfortunately, William was away watching football or something, I think, so he didn't present us with a prize, but we still got a certificate, which was very nice. And I think our greatest achievement for monitoring these sites is a number of them happen to be home to the white-clawed crayfish, which is the native crayfish of the UK. I'm sure a lot of you know about these. They're in the threatened species. They're in general decline as well. So to have these on our doorsteps and be able to monitor them and safeguard them, especially some of these sites are at risk of development, has become quite important to us. Hey. So I'm just going to touch on what Project Baseline is. It's not to say anyone has to join it. It's just the format and route that we went down for managing our projects. So Project Baseline is a non-profit organisation. They're actually based over in the States, and what they did was, with the picture shows you actually, they noticed one of the cave they were diving is back in '95. It looked this nice clear water with vegetation. Skip forward a few years and there's just this murky water with algae growth. So it's why is this happening? So people have to look. You need to get a baseline of what's changing and find out why. This is quite a long story, so I can't go into it, unfortunately, but basically they found that nearby cattle in the fields, a lot of the sewage was running off from them, which was polluting the water and causing this. So without that monitoring, then this damage would have continued. So why did our club join Project Baseline? Well, we formed our own project for one, rather than just work on other people's projects. So for one, it allowed us to form these collaborations and reach out to other divers from other clubs and other agencies as well, and to form collaborations as well. It also gave us a digital log of what to do with our data, where we're putting all this information of the water chemistry, the visibility and temperature readings. And it's also gave us a framework of practice of how we should be doing it. Again, like, it's fine going on someone's project, but when you run it yourself, it's a bit different. In the picture here is one of our base stations. So you can see in the center of that winch, there's a little Secchi disc. So we use that for monitoring visibility. And on these base stations as well, there'll be a little logger that logs the temperature, which we can remove as many times as we want to download temperature data. Seem to have a sticky key. Okay. So speaking of collaborations, the next important part for us was how to build them. So we've gathered all this data and how we're going to get someone to do something with it. So we're sitting on all this water chemistry, visibility readings. So what we found is if we published the work we were doing, the people found us, people came, and it doesn't sound the best method, but that's what we found. We carried on collecting the data, publicising the work, and people came to us. So in this picture here, the lady that's not in the diving gear, she is from an agency called Bug Life. So she is there as our crayfish license holder, and it's her job to manage these endangered white-clawed crayfish species. There's also a chappie in the corner. He's diving. He's a marine biologist, and he's working on some of the eDNA studies for monitoring whether there's white-clawed crayfish and signal crayfish in the same water. So we're gathering the data for him as well to take back and put towards some papers. And also, having more club members spreads the word far and wide. We dive quite a lot with people from Leicester Underwater Explorers Club, and there's been some of us, so word of mouth is brilliant for us. So a collaboration is formed. So as I just said, there's other clubs and other agents from BSAC and other agencies as well. The local councils, which were most important in the beginning to give us permission. We're rather surprised that actually people did let us go and dive these sites, but armed with your insurance and risk assessment, there hasn't been a problem. Also volunteer groups, as I touched on, these local volunteers that go and keep these sites clean. It's been really good to tie up with them and organising dates where we can do cleanups. Wildlife trusts, so if it's not a council that own the land, it's a wildlife trust that own the land, and again they can ask what sort of things they want from you as project divers, like what they're looking for as well. The police have also had a little bit to do with as well, because unfortunately these sites gain a bit of attention from people swimming in them over summer, and fatalities do happen. So we've managed to get some underwater footage for them as well, that they've used in their campaigns, and the specialist conservation groups as well, such as Bug Life. So I didn't know until today I got the email. So this has clashed a little bit with the Marine Champion thing that's happened on the BSAC stand. But if you did want to hear a little bit more about Project Baseline UK, what's going on, and have some more questions which you might not get a chance to ask tonight, they are giving a talk on the 28th of Feb at 1:30 on the inspiration stage. So if you can't get to the BSAC one, then we're there. And then some useful links if people were thinking about going further afield and doing some of the projects I've spoke about, like ghost fishing, Project Baseline. These links will hopefully be in the presentation to pick up on after. I think, yes, that is it. Stop
Thank
sharing.
you. Thanks, Rob. That's excellent. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Really, that's really useful to hear about your award, and also about the grant. I don't know whether Alison Mayer's on the you're actually on the committee, I think, aren't you? Whether you want to just say something about Jubilee Trust. Just, I know you have already, but it might be worth just mentioning it again now that Rob's actually kind of linked into it a bit, Ali.
Yeah, so thank you, Mary, and well done, Rob. Yeah, I can fully empathise with all the experiences you've had in terms of building networks and work. You suddenly find there are loads of other organisations that really are keen to hear about what you're doing and how you know that you can help fill gaps in the information that they've got. Now, what I would say is that as a trustee of the Jubilee Trust, we are very much seeking applications for financial support from the trust to help with any projects that Marine Champions and their clubs may wish to embark on. It's a fairly, we've literally just in the last week had our meeting to decide on awards for that we'd had in the run up to Christmas. But you've got an opportunity now over the next 2 or 3 months to have a look at the Jubilee Trust. Typically, we award something in the region of £1,000, £2,000. You know, that's not unusual. But we can't cover the purchase of equipment. But what we can do is help with your expenses and that sort of thing. But we do expect a report which sort of sets out what you've done, how you've done it, and what the results. It needs to sort of have a scientific basis to it, although you don't have to be, and I'm certainly not a scientist. So we are very supportive of clubs. We definitely want to be supportive of clubs in the future. And yeah, if you want to find out more about the Jubilee Trust, I think I put a link in a little bit earlier into the chat. But do contact me or the secretary, Ken, and find out more. I'm trying to put together a banner for the dive show. So I will be around at the dive show as well. So if you want to chat about the trust, but we're very much looking for environmental projects that we can support. Thank you, Mary.
Brilliant, excellent. That's really exciting, because that is, you know, a grant that you can all apply for, and you've seen that Rob and Marlin were successful. So so thanks, Ali, and Rob, thanks ever so much. It's really interesting to hear all your different talks. Any other questions for Rob at all? Just checking there's nothing in
I've seen a couple of messages popped up. Do you want me to answer them in the chat?
Yeah, go for it, Rob. Yeah, I've just seen them as well. Yes, please do.
Okay. Right. Well, I think my chat's catching up now, unless you can see them.
Yeah, mine was. Yeah, I think you've got somebody, Elaine Goff, who's just down the road from you. So that may meet up with you. Have a Marine Champ meetup.
Yes. Yeah, I'll just go through these. Yeah, so I think Sarah asked about trouble getting permission on any of the dive sites. Saying no, the ones that were owned by the councils and the Wildlife Trust, they were very receptive. The only ones I've never been able to get on are some of the ones that are owned by the quarrying companies. Still, they don't seem to want you on there, and I suspect it's because if we find anything endangered, then they can't start working again. That's only a speculation, but some of these do work again. And if you start finding things like crayfish or certain newts, then it makes them difficult. But yeah, local council ones are fine. And about the rubbish collection as well. No, we've not been charged for the rubbish. One was near a new housing estate, so the developer had a very kind obligation to take the rubbish away, which is nice. And the rest of the local council, we just come to an arrangement where we're going to leave it, and then they send the bin crews out to pick it up. So we've never had to pay for that as well. Yeah, and I'm just reading the one from Sarah again. Yeah, good to speak about these crayfish population, especially because I'm sure that's where Liz from Bug Life covers as well, out that far. So yeah, I'll have a little chat to you about that. That'd be wonderful. Thank you. But yeah, lovely. Thank you very much for all the kind comments. Just see, yeah. And then I think it's just down the road, yeah. And then what is it?
Yes, I mean, if you're happy, Rob, to share your email address.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll put that in the comments now.
We're really keen to get clubs working together, sharing facilities, you know, sharing the lake or you know, where you dive or whatever. I think it'd be great, especially that's part of what we want to do over those weekends, the Marine Champion Action Weekends, is that, you know, because you've all got some great stuff going on, and so absolutely, you know, to invite people over and clubs and really start sort of building a Marine Champion community. So that's something we're really keen on. So we'd love to do that. So I think Joanne is saying that in Derby, in the River Derwent, they've got some North American crayfish. So so interested in advice on how to set up a survey. So perhaps, Rob, if you put your email address in,
I'll pop it in now.
Then Joanne could email you, and you could sort of, yes, if that's all right, and you could start, you know, building. I think what we're really keen to do is to create, you know, a community and network between you all. So you know, if Mel puts, I think Mel's put her details in, if Rob's happy to, and then obviously Chris, when we get to Chris, if Chris is happy to, and then you can start really sort of networking between yourselves, and also the dive show where we can meet face to face and try and get some real community spirit and you know, start working together. It is all about sort of partnerships and collaboration. Should be amazing. So brilliant. I think that's pretty much covered questions for Rob.
Yeah.
So yeah,
my email and number in the comments now if anyone wants.
yeah,
to.
lovely. Thank
you.
you. Perfect. Okay, well, if there's nothing more from Rob, could I ask, would you be happy to send your presentation to me, and would you be happy for it to be put on our Marine Champ area on the website?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's got
Brilliant.
the links as well, so if people want it, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. That's great. Brilliant. Okay, so we're on to Chris. So I'm hoping Chris, you bobbed in and out. So just seeing whether Chris has managed to come back, and yeah, you're there, Chris, I think, aren't you? Or maybe not again.
Murray,
Yes.
Christopher's just messaged me. He's having a problem with his mic on his iPad.
Is he?
Yes.
Could he email the presentation to you, Paul, do you think, or
I can ask him to.
what do you think? Because you know the project. It's quite interesting what he's doing, isn't it?
Yeah. So it all stemmed from I'm the dive officer for Just for Fun Diving, based in Wigan, Greater Manchester, and to get divers actually going out diving year round, we decided that what we're going to do is dive one of the lakes in the Lake District per month. Just gets everyone going out doing something.
Yeah, really good. So
we dive every other week. And so through the spring, summer and autumn, we do a salty one. So we go to Anglesey primarily, and then we'll go and do a freshwater one as well. So rather than do the same water that week in, week out, we decided to do one lake per month. Over the 12 months, we get 12 lakes done. When Christopher found out about this, he said, well, why don't we start taking water samples and we'll get them analysed? So that's what he started doing a couple of months ago when we first started this. And some of the results are quite eye-opening. So I don't know what the criteria is or what he goes into. I know he takes it to a local aquarium. They test the water quality for him, the clarity, this, that, and the other, and they give him a report saying this is what this water says. Now, what was most astounding was that he's also taken water samples from home. And what came back was they wouldn't drink the tap water, but they would drink Coniston water. And also the filtered water was the best water by far. But then it was Coniston water and then Bolton tap water. So it was a bit worrying, to be honest. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, but Christopher has a lot more insight than I do. That's just a brief outline of what he's been doing. But he's also tested Stony Cove, Cape and Ray.
Yeah.
We've yet to do the Delph.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what he's doing.
I know it caught our eye. So when Chris, when you sent in your form to Marine Champs, and Chris had written what you were all doing and testing the water, it caught our eye, which is why we sort of said, would Chris be up for sort of telling us about it? Because obviously BSAC's involved in the Cleaner Water Alliance, where there's real impact on some of these water sports like triathlons and paddleboarding, and some of the training for the Olympic athletes, etc., with the water, and the quality. So it's really interesting. But I think Chris, I don't know whether you can see, but on chat, I think it's just your microphone that's not working, but oh yeah, you've put it was quite scary. So they're just asking about whether the water results get shared, and what depths do you get your the samples from? So I don't know if you can put that in chat, Chris. If you're still on, I think he's obviously got real connection problems and coming in and out. But what I'm thinking is this is a really interesting project. Oh, here we go. I haven't shared any results yet as I'm still doing the report. Okay, brilliant. So I think, Chris, if you're up for it, it would be really good if we could perhaps do your presentation at the next call, if that's okay, which would be really useful. I think the next call is, I'm just checking, but I think it is in March. So I'm just looking at the date. Yeah, I think it's a Wednesday. So we're making it a Wednesday because we've had some people that have said Tuesdays, they can't make a Tuesday. So we thought we'll do some Wednesdays then as well. So the next Marine Champion evening is Wednesday, the 11th of March. So Chris, if you're able to come along to that, and then you might have some more results by then as well, which would be amazing. To share it. So Wednesday the 11th, or we'll send out the date, sorry, the invite, and at 7 o'clock again. And I think Chris is just saying he takes the samples from about 6 meters, which is interesting. And Ali is just saying that the Environmental Agency have loaned us portable sampling equipment that's calibrated on a regular basis. So it might be worth contacting them. Ah, that's really useful, isn't it?
Right.
That'd be useful, Paul.
So what it is, the only control that Christopher has put in place because of the varying depths of the waters.
Yes.
Because as divers, we spend throughout the dive, we're varying our depths. The only time that we're at a constant depth is during the 3-minute stop at 6 meters. So Christopher said, what I'll do, I'll collect the water samples while we're doing the stop at the 6-meter stop.
Excellent. Yeah, that's good. And Chris, there's a lot going on with if you have a look on the website for Cleaner Water Alliance, where they are using very sophisticated testing kits for the rivers where they're swimming, etc. So that might be an area to look at as well. But I think what they're not doing, which of course is really interesting, what we're doing or you're doing, is they're only taking the water from the surface when they're doing the tests for E. coli, etc. But what you're doing is obviously taking it from 6 meters down, which is what's going to be interesting about your project, I think. So yeah, it'd be great to share some ideas, Paul and Chris, when you can. Brilliant. Good, thank you. Any other questions for Chris? You are welcome to put them into chat. So Chris is another one new to the role of Marine Champion. So excellent, Chris. It's great to see this project. I think it'll go from strength to strength and be really useful because of the depth that you're doing it at, and it's not from the surface. So I think, Rob, have you got a question, Rob?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Ali might be able to answer, because we had to do the project report for when we got Jubilee grant. Are they visible for everyone to see on the BSAC website?
Yeah, all of the reports that are funded are on the BSAC website, so you can see, you can go. Yeah, if you look in the Jubilee Trust, and then it'll drop down for projects or something like that, and they're all there going back many years. Yeah, because ours is in there, and that has a big portion of our money went on water analysis, so it'd be good to compare what the guys are getting up north to their water quality to ours as well. So it is in there if anyone wants to look and compare and contrast. So
yeah. I love the idea of comparing it to the tap water as well. That's quite interesting, isn't it? We may never drink tap water again. Yeah, no, it's a nice little project, isn't it? Interesting. So
We'll have to drink gin instead.
Yes.
If I can point
Thanks,
out,
Ruth. I
Mary,
think Ruth's going. So no, thank you very much. Chris, if you want to put your email address in chat, then anyone that wants to ask any further questions can get hold of you. That's great. So I think everyone, thank you very much, Chris, and we'll get you involved for the next one where you can do your presentation, hopefully. So thank you, Rob. Thank you, Mel. And thanks everyone for your input and for listening. I think we're sort of coming towards the end. So just wanted to ask if there was any more Q&As about anything else that you want to know, or about any of the dates, anything that you need repeating. If I haven't got any links in, I'll try and get them in, and if not, I will email them. I've written down who I need to email things to, and we will put this up on the web with the recording as well. And always feel free to just email me. I do get lots of interesting emails from all of you, so it's really good. If you've got articles, photos, send them in. We're trying to get them on social media. We're trying to get them into Scuba. So absolutely send things in for Scuba magazine. It'd be great to start sharing all of your ideas. I'm loving all the lake stuff. I think that it would be really interesting to bring our clubs together through the lakes as well, with the work that we're doing with invasive species as well. Sarah saying she feels that she's been put to shame because she's just all she's organised is a litter pick, but that's really good in April. We're loving that, Sarah. Litter picks are very important, as we all know. So it's all good. Excellent. So thank you. Anything that we're all doing will make a difference, and just keep sharing it and getting your clubs and friends, families, relatives all involved. So Julie's just saying, from the last meeting, could we have our events on a calendar rather than a list? Yes, we'll do that. Good idea. So we'll make sure we get that done. No problem at all. Anything else from anybody? So I'm hoping that some of you have picked up, there was quite a flurry earlier on in chat about WhatsApp and different people getting in touch with each other. So if you can do that, that would be really useful, just while we work on some of the other areas. So I think higher up in the chat there was, hopefully you've picked up names or contacts or emails so that you can start that piece of work, and getting together to organise. I think it's worked well for Mel in North Wales. I am on that one because I do live in North Wales, so it's handy and it's great to see what's going on, and signing up for things. So brilliant. Is there anything else from anybody before we? Oh, we've got Joanne's doing a litter pick. Oh, instant abs, brilliant. Excellent. And if please do send your pictures in, just email them to me if it's just, or I don't mind you WhatsApping them to me, and we'll, we love to see what you're all doing, and let's just get these pictures out there. Be great.